grandparents?
Do you have anything to say?
Do you have anything to say?
Nope.
Is this how you expected to be spending your birthday?
Nope.
Today we made 2 additional arrests in reference to the Garrick homicide case that occurred on Pleasant Drive yesterday. Early this morning we arrested Dustin Martin, 18 of Moore, and that arrest was caused by the fact that we received information that Martin had met up with Kyle Smith, the grandson of our victims, yesterday in the morning, and met Smith along with another juvenile from Moore at the victim's house. Apparently Smith had called Martin and this juvenile and requested they come to this location. Once they got here, the victims had already been murdered. Martin, Smith, and the juvenile actually sat in the living room, smoked marijuana for some time, and discussed on how to clean up the crime scene. At that point, a decision was made, and all 3 went to a local convenience store, bought a gas can, bought some gas, returned back to the home, and at that point they set the house on fire. They actually poured gas on the victims and the house, inside the house, and set the house on fire. When the homicide originally occurred, we knew that the grandson, Kyle Smith, was the primary suspect. So we actually pinged his telephone and were able to locate him in Chickasha. And while we were doing this, we also got information from a third-party witness that apparently Smith, after he committed the homicide Tuesday night, went to a friend's house in Oklahoma City and actually confessed to the murders and actually showed this friend a homemade video that he had taken on his phone of the crime scene after the murders occurred. Of course, this friend thought it was a prank, didn't believe Smith, but told another individual about it, and when that individual saw the news releases that day, yesterday, in reference to the fire and the deaths, they called us. We were able to locate this witness in Oklahoma City. We interviewed that witness, and he gave us details of how Smith killed his grandparents, and also gave us details of the video that he saw of the crime scene. And the information he gave us about the video would be only that the perpetrator would know, or someone had to be inside the crime scene to film. Martin's name came up when an individual called us from Moore and said that he was possibly involved. When we interviewed Martin, he told us that he did come up here to Midwest City with the juvenile, and as I said earlier, he helped Smith set the house on fire. We've arrested Martin and also Smith. We arrested Smith for 2 counts of murder. 1, let me get the specific charge here. I think conspiracy to commit arson, and also 2 counts of conspiracy to desecrate a human body. Martin was arrested for conspiracy to commit arson. Also, I believe he was, see what the exact charge, conspiracy to murder after the fact, and conspiracy to desecrate a human body. And the juvenile that we've arrested, he was picked up about noon today. He corroborated Martin's story, and he's also been arrested for these crimes. Both the juvenile and Martin are currently being held here at Midwest City Police Department. Martin will be transferred to Oklahoma County Jail later. The juvenile will be taken to the Berry House.